It's 5 o'clock on this Monday evening, November 2nd, 2020. It's time now for the Peter Channel 5 o'clock news on this Monday evening, November 2nd, 2020. That time is 5 o'clock. Mountain temperature is standard at 41 degrees. I'm Peter J. Wiggins for the Peter Channel 5 o'clock news on this Monday evening. Top stories show latest election polls show Biden ahead of Trump in Michigan. One person dead, several injured in Vienna terror attack. Judge rejects GOP bid to toss 127,000 drive-through ballots in Harris County, Texas. Black Republican freshman at Bama named the Electoral College. Black Lives Matter activist slams Clarence Thomas after Supreme Court ruling in police officer lawsuit. More than 94 million ballots have been cast ahead of Election Day, over two-thirds of 2016 turnout. Obama rips Trump over a suggestion they may fire Fauci. Kentucky State Police training quoted the Hitler to create ruthless warriors. Twitter labels fake Biden video as manipulated media. Judge mandates USPS take extraordinary measures as ballot processing drops in key states. Britain's Boris Johnson has no alternative to the strict new coronavirus lockdown. The 2020 Atlantic hurricane season keeps raging with Hurricane Ian. What a fluke as Dutch whale tail sculpture catches metro train. France endures agonizing autumn from COVID-19 and terrorism. Record number of figures blaze in Brazil's Amazon and Pantanal wetlands in October. Impunity for crimes against journalists prevails, report shows. Most South Korean students in favor of lone voting age. Connor Reed, the first British citizen in a contract COVID-19 at the school in China, has died in the accident at the University of Wales, his family said. Trade tensions are reached a new high between China and Australia as South China holds up more than 20 tons of Australian rock lobster at an airport in Shanghai, citing Chinese concern of heavy metal content. More than 10 million Americans will have state healthcare insurance through the Affordable Care Act market-based may renew or change their plans for next year, even though the U.S. Supreme Court may scrap the program in January. U.S. healthcare providers back challenges in the post-COVID-19 world. Groups help homeless overcome challenges to voting. Exiled from former U.S. National Security Agency contractor Edward Snowden on social media said that he and his wife will play for Russian citizenship, but will keep the citizenship in the United States well. More than 96 million Americans have already voted ahead of the Tuesday's election, almost twice the number from about 4 years ago, according to the independent election monitor. The Supreme Court on Monday sided with prominent Black Lives Matter activist DeRay McKeeson overturned a ruling that allowed a police officer to sue him for injuries received during the protest. Dow rises back to torn at the end of the tournament as he hit his irons and his wedges on well and A1, me trailing Brick Sporting A courses at Dow League member schools traverse. Big Dogs are back now with a return of UConn to the Big East. In an effort to quell rising COVID-19 cases across the state, Governor Charlie Baker issued a new orders Monday afternoon to put the curfew at some businesses until 10 p.m. require face coverings in all public spaces, limit the size of gatherings. On Operation Desert Storm moved to get the visibility it deserves. Dry butter expected in the Brockton area. Beth Israel opens new healthcare center in Quincy. Marijuana urges Boston residents to respect COVID-19 rules at polling places. The stock market presidential predictor is forecasted to win the White House. Dow Jones screens ahead of election day. These electric car stocks on the rise. Oil prices sink as Europe reduces coronavirus lockdowns. Looking at stocks today, up 344.10 at 26.45.70. SP 5 up 40.28 at 33.10.24. At Nasdaq up 46.02 at 10.957.61. People have COVID-19 open. They're supposed to vote in person, CDC said. T-cell response delivers coronavirus immunity after the election, study shows. 1.5 of all sunlight stars in the Milky Way are minimum habitable planet. Peter Jones on is 5:05 Sports Times. Stephen Jones on not trading. Donald Smith wins. In this still fact. Dalvin Cook rewrites record books. San Francisco 49ers quarterback. Jimmy Garoppolo and tight end George Kittle missed multiple weeks, and Springer McCann storming the Mason free agency. Peter Jones on 5:05. Time out for Peter Chittle. Traffic gets to check on this. Late Monday night on this Monday evening. MBTA subway system, Green Line, deep bridge update. Shuttle bus continue to replace trade service between Roosevelt and Riverside due to down bridges. Personal on the state worker to restore service. Gonna be the rail. Fishburne train 4:17, 3:30 p.m. from North Station stop before North Lemster is 50 minutes faster between the Pan Am freight train traffic. And the commuter rail and the ferries, they are looking good. Okay, let's take a look at highways and byways of New England on this Monday evening. 95 southbound side, so between Pawtucket and Providence. Southwest Expressway southbound side, so to the Quincy stretch, then the Raintree split. Southwest Expressway northbound, so on Friendswood Parkway and Quincy. Southbound Southwest Expressway, so between the pike down to the gas tanks in Dorchester. 120 southbound side, so to the Belton stretch. Central Mass Highway is on looking good. Western Mass Highway is on looking good. 84 westbound side, a little bit slower on the Waterbury stretch. And Merritt Parkway, stop and go on the eastbound side between Durham and Bridgeport. 95 northbound side, so between 7 and Bridgeport. 95 southbound, so between Waving and West Haven, Connecticut, and up in Northern New England. Looking good in New Hampshire, and up in Maine, and in Vermont, except the 91 southbound side, also upstate Vermont. Peter Children's time is 5:07. Time out for weather report, and it turned out to be a chilly and a blustery day on tap with winds gusting around 40-50 miles an hour. And looking at the forecast discussion as a fast moving service, we'll bring a brief ride of snow showers at least to northwest and north central Massachusetts overnight with some minor accumulations possible to terrain. Dry, blustery, and chilly weather falls Tuesday, but it will be not be as cold as this afternoon. Weather trend begins Wednesday with unseasonably mild conditions Thursday, but the weekend along with dry weather prevailing. Minus north conditions along the high terrain of interior Massachusetts overnight, especially along the slopes of the Berkshires. Strong west-northwest wind gusts diminish shortly with the loss of daytime heating, so while it is still remaining breezy this evening, we will allow the widened rise to expire at 6 p.m. for most of the region. Dry weather will prevail this evening with the temperatures holding in the 30s as wind shift to the southwest ahead of the shortwave. It'll remain breezy, but so wind chills being in the 20s. And now a strong shortwave will drop from the northwest after midnight. The brunt of the upper level of energy will affect northern Massachusetts, where Gunnison indicates steaming in 1,007 mil bar lapse rates, along with a low level convergence on the reinforcement of shot of cold air, while the moisture is limited appears to be enough forcing in the lower elevations across northern Massachusetts. That real coverage will be greatest in northern Massachusetts, given proximity to the shortwave, and it's uncertain how much any activity survives top of the mass pack. That being said, high resolution cams are in good agreement in the potential 1 to 2 inches of snow, but a low risk up to 3 inches across extreme northwest Massachusetts, mainly along the eastern slopes of the Berkshires. There may be a minor accumulation in north central Massachusetts, generally recording in less than an inch, and given that there might be some slippery roadway, especially in the direct local and in the SPS in the interior high terrain of Massachusetts, mainly elevation due to 1,000 feet and across the lower elevation, no issues on roadways are expected. In fact, 925T remain warm enough to support a few rain showers to it. Regardless, this system is fast moving with most of the activity coming and then by early Tuesday morning. As previous broadcast mentioned, a winds across the Cape and Islands will pick up again tomorrow daybreak, and we're expected 35-40 knots. Wind gusts to resume, so the wind advisory remains in effect by the islands into the Tuesday morning. Later ships may have to consider extending it on the Cape Cod time. All right, let's take a look at a 7-day forecast. It goes like this, right? It's going to be a chance rain, snow showers before 5 a.m., then a chance snow showers, and then increase got low at 32 degrees, and south with about 8 to 15 miles an hour. Guess that's 30 miles an hour, chance rate 30%, low radiation expected for Tuesday. Most of the south got for 45, low 26 degrees, north was about 6 to 15 miles an hour. Guess that's 30 miles an hour for Wednesday. South got for 52, low 44 degrees. Common Kim south around 5 to 7 miles an hour in the afternoon for Thursday. South got at 64, low 51 degrees. South was about 6 to 11 miles an hour. Guess that's 21 mile an hour for Friday. Most of the skies about 66, a low 46. The southwest about 5 to 8 mile an hour for Saturday. Sun skies about 68, low 45 degrees, light west wind. Sunday, sun skies about 69, low 45 degrees, light southwest wind. And for Monday, most of the skies about 66 degrees. Right now, Mountain it's 23 degrees. That's going to be a bit of channel 5 o'clock news on this. November 2nd, 2020 on Monday evening. Peter J. Woods will be having a good evening. Goodbye, day. Stay safe, be positive, be healthy, be well. I will see you tomorrow as well at 10 o'clock for 10 o'clock late night work. You have a good evening.